Think that little jar of garlic powder in your kitchen is just a basic spice? What if I told you it took massive machines, weeks of drying, and precision engineering to make it? From muddy fields to sterile factories, we're taking you deep inside the fascinating world of garlic powder production, where every clove is sliced, dried, milled, and sealed with perfection. This is garlic like you've never seen it before. Step 1. Garlic harvesting and initial processing. The journey of garlic powder begins in the fields, where garlic bulbs are carefully cultivated over months. Garlic is generally planted in late autumn and harvested in early to mid-summer. Once mature, the garlic is pulled from the ground, shaken clean, and left to cure, a process that involves air drying the bulbs for several weeks to toughen the outer skin and enhance storage life. After curing, the garlic bulbs are broken down into individual cloves through a process known as debulbing. Each clove is then peeled, a task traditionally done by hand, but now largely performed by sophisticated machines. These garlic peeling machines use techniques like compressed air or friction rollers to remove the papery skin without damaging the clove underneath. The peeled cloves are thoroughly washed using sanitized water to remove soil, debris, or microbial contamination. Quality control checks are rigorously applied at this stage to discard any cloves that are bruised, moldy, or otherwise unsuitable for processing. Clean, intact cloves move forward in the production chain. Step 2. Slicing or chopping the garlic. After peeling and washing, the garlic must be cut into smaller pieces to allow for more efficient drying. This is typically done through industrial-grade slicing machines that process large quantities of garlic with consistent precision. These machines slice the garlic cloves into thin, even pieces, usually about 1 to 2 millimeters thick, which significantly increases the surface area and allows for faster, more uniform dehydration. In some cases, particularly when the final product is not a fine powder but rather granules or flakes, the garlic may be chopped into coarse chunks instead. This step is more than just preparation. It determines the drying time, the retention of volatile compounds, and ultimately the quality and flavor of the garlic powder. Precision in slicing not only affects efficiency but also influences the color, aroma, and texture of the final product. Step 3. Drying. The heart of garlic powder production. Drying is arguably the most critical stage in garlic powder manufacturing because it directly affects the powder's flavor, shelf life, and nutritional value. The goal is to reduce the garlic's moisture content to below 6%, thereby eliminating the conditions that support microbial growth and spoilage. The most widely used drying method in commercial operations is hot air drying. In this method, sliced garlic is laid out on trays or moved through conveyor belts inside drying chambers where heated air circulates continuously. The temperature is carefully controlled between 50 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Celsius to ensure the garlic dries evenly without being cooked or browned. This process can take anywhere from 4 to 10 hours depending on slice thickness and airflow. In premium production facilities, freeze drying is used to create a higher quality product. This involves freezing the garlic slices and then placing them in a vacuum chamber, where the water sublimates directly from ice to vapor. Freeze drying is significantly more expensive but preserves flavor, color, and nutrients better than other methods. In more traditional settings, especially in rural areas of countries like India or China, sun drying is still employed. Garlic is spread out in the open under direct sunlight for several days. While cost-effective, this method is time-consuming and exposes the product to contamination, pests, and weather risks, making it less viable for high-grade exports. Step 4. Milling. Turning dry garlic into fine powder. Once the garlic slices are thoroughly dried, they are ready to be transformed into powder. This is done through a two-step grinding process. First, the dried garlic is subjected to coarse grinding, usually using hammer mills. This reduces the flakes or slices into granules. These garlic granules are often used as is for certain food products or can be further milled depending on market demand. The granules then go through fine milling, typically using pin mills, air classifier mills, or cryogenic grinders. These machines pulverize the granules into a fine, uniform powder. Some advanced factories use cryogenic grinding, a technique where garlic is cooled using liquid nitrogen before grinding. This prevents heat generation during milling, which helps preserve volatile sulfur compounds responsible for garlic's strong aroma and medicinal properties. Once ground, the garlic powder is passed through a series of vibrating sieves to remove oversized particles and ensure a consistent mesh size, usually 80 to 200 mesh. The powder that meets specifications moves forward for quality testing, while any coarse particles are sent back for regrinding. Step 5. Quality testing and decontamination. Food safety and quality assurance are non-negotiable in the production of garlic powder. Each batch undergoes rigorous microbiological testing to ensure it is free from pathogens such as E. coli, Salmonella, and Listeria. In many facilities, garlic powder is subjected to steam sterilization, UV treatment, or gamma irradiation to eliminate microbial contamination without altering taste or aroma. Besides microbial testing, the garlic powder is also analyzed for moisture content, color, aroma, and purity. Sophisticated lab equipment is used to test for contaminants such as heavy metals, pesticide residues, and allergens. Some manufacturers even employ infrared spectrometry and gas chromatography to ensure chemical profiles match the expected standards. All of this ensures the garlic powder is not only flavorful but also safe for consumption across international markets. Step 6. Packaging. Preserving flavor and freshness. The final step in garlic powder production is packaging, a stage as important as the rest, given the product's tendency to moisture, light, and air. Garlic powder is highly hygroscopic, meaning it readily absorbs moisture from the environment. If not properly packed, it can form lumps, lose flavor, or spoil. Therefore, packaging must be airtight and moisture-resistant. Depending on the target market, garlic powder is packaged in various forms. For retail use, it is packed into glass jars, plastic containers, or laminated pouches that are sealed and labeled attractively. For commercial and bulk sales, the powder is packed into multi-layered bags, fiber drums, or plastic barrels, often lined with aluminum or food-grade plastic to enhance shelf life. In some high-end packaging operations, vacuum sealing or nitrogen flushing is used to remove oxygen and prevent oxidation. These methods help retain the pungent aroma and extend product life. Each package is labeled with essential information such as batch numbers, production and expiry dates, nutritional content, origin, and barcodes for inventory tracking. Many manufacturers also include QR codes that link to online traceability platforms, giving customers a clear view of the product's farm-to-fork journey. Exporting garlic powder, global distribution, and trade. Once packaged, garlic powder is ready for shipment to global markets. Exporting requires meticulous documentation, including certificates of origin, quality analysis reports, pesticide residue clearances, and in some cases, organic certifications. The product is stored in temperature and humidity-controlled warehouses to preserve quality until it is shipped. Most garlic powder is transported via sea freight in large containers, although air freight is occasionally used for urgent deliveries. Exporters often work with logistics firms to ensure compliance with the import regulations of target countries. Major importers include the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, Japan, and the Middle East. The global movement of garlic powder is a complex but well-organized process that ensures the spice reaches every corner of the globe. Challenges in garlic powder production. Despite its efficiency, garlic powder production comes with its share of challenges. One major issue is odor control. The intense smell of garlic can linger in processing units and nearby areas. Factories invest in air purification systems like activated carbon filters and exhaust scrubbers to neutralize odors and comply with environmental standards. Another major challenge is supply chain stability. Garlic is a seasonal crop, and factors such as extreme weather, pests, or diseases can disrupt production and lead to price fluctuations. To mitigate this, companies often engage in contract farming or maintain large inventories of dried garlic flakes. Quality and authenticity also remain a concern. Some unethical suppliers adulterate garlic powder with fillers like rice flour or starch to cut costs. This not only deceives consumers but also damages the reputation of genuine producers. As a result, regulatory oversight and buyer vigilance are critical for maintaining standards across the industry. And that's how millions of garlic cloves are transformed into the fine, aromatic powder that flavors your food every day. Behind that simple seasoning is an incredible journey of farming, technology, and science. If you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into how everyday things are made. Got a spice or ingredient you want us to cover next? Drop it in the comments and we'll dig into it for you.